Alright guys, so today is a very exciting day. Yesterday my battery came in. It's already installed, but I have the positive disconnected because today my starter solenoid came in. And for those that have done any work like this, any electrical work you do on a vehicle, whether it's 2 wheels, 4 wheels, it doesn't matter, you want to disconnect one of your battery cables. You don't want any arcing going on. But anyway, so this is a starter solenoid that is for a Kawasaki Vulcan. This is an '06 Suzuki S83 or VS1400. Now you're probably wondering, why do you have a starter solenoid for a different bike? Well, it's simple. I'm going to pause the video here. Okay, so what you guys saw was the correct starter solenoid. That is for a Suzuki. So as you can see, the one that I put up in the picture for you to see, you have one stud here, another stud here, and then this is a blade on both sides, but the one that you saw had studs. Well, that's the one. It's a design flaw for these Suzukis. What happened is, over time, in such a short time, the studs on this end become loose, and so they end up pressing down. Oh, I apologize, I'm facing it the wrong way. So these become loose, and they end up pressing down onto the plate and bridging and making contact, therefore self-igniting and trying to start the bike. Imagine hearing your motorcycle trying to crank up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you wake up out of a dead sleep. You run outside thinking someone's trying to steal your bike. And that's kind of weird, because the only thing that would try to steal a bike back here would be a woodland creature. I live in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, yeah, it was the starter solenoid that was self-igniting. But anyway, I'm about to pull all of this apart. The seat, this cover off to the side here, and then the little plastic on the top. Get the old starter solenoid out, put the new one in, and I should be able to just connect that positive side of the battery, and the bike should fire up under its own power. I shouldn't have to jump start anything. So let's see what happens. Stand by. Alright guys, I took a moment and stopped. Reason why: not only did I modify the tabs here, or the wires that go onto the let me get the old one so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So I modified the 2 wires that come off of this switch up here that runs all the way through here and ends up here. Well, they fit on here. They were just 2 rounded pieces to go onto the studs, but I think I pulled these off of an old 4-wheeler of mine a long time ago. I think that's what I ended up doing. But I also had to modify the little piece that holds on to it, because this is what they send you. And it actually gets bolted on. I don't know if it's going to pick it up or not. But there's a screw on the right, or on the left, and there's one on the right. So I don't know if it's picking it up, but it's a bracket that bolts to the frame of the bike. So once that's bolted back on, I noticed that there's a gap here. Well, the original starter solenoid was a little bit smaller than this. I actually just took a Dremel and just cut that. You can take a Dremel, a knife if it's sharp enough, a file, angle grinder if you're bold enough, sawzall, bandsaw. I mean, I can keep naming off tools that'll work in this situation. You could also use a hacksaw. I mean, that's probably like the safest and easiest thing to use would be a hacksaw. But I used a Dremel with the cutting wheel to just cut this, and it opened it up. That way I could just place this down in here. As you can see, it's not going anywhere. It's nice and secure. and it's not going to arc on anything. Again, it's nice and secure. So then I just take this little rubber piece, the isolator, to keep things from touching on it, and I just kind of shove it down in here. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to create a barrier to keep anything metal from arcing on this thing, and it's not easy to do this one-handed. So I'll finish putting this back on, and then I'll put everything back together. When I come back, we'll be starting the bike, or at least attempting to start the bike. So we'll see what happens. Bear with me. I'll be right back. Alright guys, unfortunately I ran into a problem, so that's just my fucking luck. I'm hot, I'm tired, I'm irritated because this thing's been nothing but a headache. The starter solenoid decided to break on me. My brand new one. Let me show you. If you can see, that's got a lot of play in it. So now I have to send it back and get another one. Actually, this side's got play in it as well. If you can look real carefully, you can see that's clearly broken. So I've got to send this back. But that's all it is just the starter solenoid, because if I were to turn this key, it's got power, and if I touch these two wires together here, as you can see, it runs just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to order it from a different seller. I thought that I got this from the same seller that I had my other one, and it's not. It's a completely different seller. But I did track down the original seller that I bought the replacement one for Kawasaki, so I'm going to order from them, and it's cheaper anyway. This was $12. The seller I purchased from before, it was only $9. So I'm going to go ahead and order that now, and then just send this piece of crap back, because I don't know. I mean, it's 100% identical to my other one, but for some reason this just doesn't fit. So I'm not fighting with it. I'm not doing this. This is stupid. I have way too much to do with my time than to sit here and get junk. So I was hoping to ride my bike today, but of course, I have to get shit on by crap companies that send junk. No one believes in quality anymore. It's all about putting out things as quickly as possible for profit. That's literally what anything is worth nowadays. But yeah, all I can do is put all of this back. I've got to get down here and disconnect my one of these battery cables. That way I don't run my battery down, or have any of these, because even though this is off, key is out, let's say I put that seat on and these two touch, so you don't want that. So always remember, if you're working on your bike or your vehicle and it's not done and you don't want to put it all back together for nothing, just go ahead and pull your cable, disconnect one of your cables. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. Ideally, you'll want to disconnect your positive, and that way you can cover it up. But yeah, sorry about that. Usually I have results, and don't forget to turn your fuel off either. But usually I get results. This time, this is a big failure. And I apologize for wasting you guys' time. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching.